Hey, what's going on, everyone? Carlos here, Carlos Guild TV. Thanks a lot for watching. It is day 3 of hashtag No Shave November, and this beard of mine is getting thicker and thicker by the hour. I honestly wish I would have shaved this whole thing off on Saturday morning, and I made the mistake of not going to the barbershop this weekend, which is really rare for me. So anyways, I am stuck with this thick, bushy old beard for the next 27 days. But anyways, on today's vlog, I am going to talk about why you should embrace failure and hardship. And I'm going to tie it to career and to entrepreneurism, and hopefully it touches someone out there. But before I get started, I want to give a big thanks to Brianna Jacobs, who throws on the Social Media Strategy Summit. I was in Boston last week, and when I checked in and got to my room, I had this very nice handwritten note by Brianna, who organizes the event. And I think handwritten notes is really a lost art of communication that a lot of us should get back to. Everyone gets caught up with tweets and with social media and email, and you'd be surprised just how much impact a handwritten, personalized note can go, even if it's just a few sentences. So big thank you to Brianna for putting on a great event, for bringing me out there to Boston. It was really fun to drop some social media knowledge with the group. And when I was on that flight out to Boston, I really just I got kind of emotional, I got sentimental, and I do some of my best reflecting and thinking when I'm at 30,000 feet. And it's crazy because I've heard from a lot of friends out there in business and social that the same thing happens to them. So you're on a flight and you're just kind of disconnected and tuned out from everything. And that's the time that for me I start to think back on what have I accomplished, where am I at today, and where do I want to be. And I started thinking about where I was at this time last year. And to be honest with you, I was at a part in my career last year that I wasn't very happy where I was working. I didn't really enjoy going to work every day, and I don't want to get into the ins and outs of it because I don't think it's right to really knock down somewhere that you've worked, but it was just a situation that I was in professionally and personally that I wanted to get out of. And I spent much of last year really assessing where do I want to be in the next 1, 5, and 10 years. And one, I started making changes immediately, which was I got into school right away. Once I identified that education was going to be a big part of what would take me to the next level of my career. 2, I started looking within my network at through networking and by connecting with the right folks, how would I be able to potentially get introduced to folks that otherwise I wouldn't know, or how would I be introduced to opportunities that otherwise I wouldn't find on my own. And 3, I started looking into the world of professional speaking. And I really enjoy having a microphone, I enjoy stage. I've always really had a passion for influencing and teaching and motivating others, but I've never really had the opportunity outside of when I had my own business, Jobs Direct USA, and I was hosting my own events. So I started applying to speak at different conferences throughout the course of 2014. Now mind you, this is 2013 last year. I'm in a job that I really don't like, and I made a New Year's resolution, so to speak, that regardless of where I found myself, whether at my old job or whether at my new job or whether at no job at all, I was going to speak at a dozen conferences throughout 2014. So year to date, I've spoken at 16 conferences, which is just phenomenal. So I'm sitting on this plane, and I'm actually starting to get kind of like teary. I'm starting to get choked up because I'm thinking just how fortunate and how blessed I am. But most importantly, it's not what I've done today that's gotten me to this point at all. It's what I've done in the many, many steps prior that's gotten me to this point. And I want to share with all of you a blog post I wrote for Medium. And Medium, if you're not aware, it's a blogging website. It was started up by the guys that founded Twitter. It's a really cool site that if you don't have a blog, you can write on Medium, and then you can share that content with your followers on Twitter. You can share it with your friends on Facebook. You get how it works. So anyways, I got on my iPhone right away, and I just started writing, and I started writing everything that came to mind. And I just had like this deep mindset of none of this would be possible. The speaking engagements, the job today, speaking to all of you out there, none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for the trials and tribulations that I encountered in 2008. So in 2008, I was working in the banking industry due to the economy. I lost my job. Not only did I lose my job, but I lost everything. I lost my house, I lost my cars, I went through a bankruptcy, I lost all my money. I was like completely, literally just broke beyond belief. And it was right around, I'd say 2009, 2010-ish, where I found myself just at my lowest point financially. And I was watching The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith. And mind you, at the time, I hadn't paid my mortgage, and I was just like completely far behind on all my debt. And I really saw myself in a just extremely dire situation. So I'm watching The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith, based on the life of Christopher Gardner. And it was the moment where Will Smith is in the bathroom with his son in the movie of, I think it was a subway station, where I realized at that very exact moment that if I don't get my shit together and do something fast, if that switch doesn't go off, that is going to be me. And once I accepted that failure was not an option, now keep in mind, I have 2 kids, I have a wife, they depend on me. So once I accepted that failure was not an option, I turned to social media, and I turned to social media day and night. I studied it, and we're talking again, 2009, 2010, when Facebook wasn't commercialized like it is today. Twitter wasn't being used by brands like it is today. It was just very much a pure social network. And that's why I really love social media as much as I do, because I was there at the very ground level when I was seeing how these tools were really utilized for peer-to-peer networking. And it wasn't so much about, let me use social because I want to sell something to you. Let me use this as a brand because I want you to buy more stuff. No, it was legitimately about, I want to network with you. I want to do business with you. Let's connect. Let me follow you. Follow me so we can stay in touch. That's how the game worked. And that's how I ultimately built my reputation in social media. And that's how I was able to go ahead and actually use social media as a positive, not only to grow grassroots awareness for my business, but to also meet a whole heck of a lot of people that helped me open up doors that otherwise I wouldn't have been able to open. So going back to character, there was a lot of nights where I didn't sleep. There was a lot of days where I was just completely stressed out and completely worried, because I was asking myself, when's this all going to come to an end? Like, I know that everyone has a plan set out for them, but like, really, my plan, when is this going to change? When is this going? When's the light at the, when am I going to see the light at the other end of the tunnel, so to speak? And it was the passion and the persistence and the tenacity to not give up, to not accept failure, that made me keep pushing on. And I was forced again to study social. I remember being up in my condo in Jacksonville, and I turned my son's bedroom into my own home office. And I remember being in his room. This must have been 4 or 5 o'clock one night, or one morning, I'm sorry. And I'm there, and I'm literally just about to give up. You know, I'm getting emotional. And I'm thinking, this isn't working out for the rest of my life. I'm going to be broke. I'm probably going to be homeless. And I wanted to give up. And, you know, it was just one of those moments of reflection that I sat there and I said to myself, I've got a family. They depend on me. And at the time, I think I was 26 or 27 years old. And I figured I have a whole lot of life ahead of me. And I can't go down this way. I can't give up. And I didn't. And there was a lot of those nights where I'd sit there in that office and I'd read about Twitter and I'd read about all these cool people, the Gary Vaynerchuks and folks like that were doing some really cool things in social media. And I said to myself, damn it, if these people, which they're no different than you or I, they're normal people. They wake up every day, they put on their pants. They might know 1 or 2 people more than you and I, but they're people at the end of the day. And I'm saying, if these people are doing great things with social, if they're able to leverage this to meet other people and to grow their businesses, and hell, just put food on the table for their families, then what's stopping me from doing it? And it was a lot of reflection that made me realize I'm the only thing that's stopping me from doing it. And if I want to go ahead and have it, I'm going to have to go ahead and stop feeling sorry for myself. I'm going to have to break out of this shell, and I'm going to have to do something about it. And I tell you, I would spend a lot of sleepless nights awake where I would literally go in my office, my family would go to sleep, and I'd work throughout the night. My family would wake up, my neighbors would wake up and go to work, and I still hadn't slept the night before. And all of that, what it led to was people started to get to know me as someone who knows social media. And someone that knows social media not only to make money, but to create awareness and use social media to connect people together. So I'll never forget this. I get an email from a recruiter that works for Winn-Dixie, which is a supermarket chain in Jacksonville. And this is a Friday afternoon. It's like 5 o'clock. And this recruiter sends me an email and says, "Hey, Carlos, we have a need. We have a job fair on Monday, and it's too late to put an ad in the newspaper. How much would you charge to do this for us and to get the word out on social media?" So at that moment, my wife already had the car packed. She wanted to leave to get on the road to go to Fort Lauderdale. And I had a decision to make. Either I'm going to ignore this email and blow it off, because quite frankly, I probably can't deliver the results that newspaper can deliver, or I'm going to go ahead and respond to her and let her know very truthfully, A, I've never done this before, so I don't know what to charge you. B, I'd be more than happy to help you out. And C, let's go ahead and just give it a shot. So I threw out just some random number. I think it was like $200. And I basically told this recruiter, send me the info on the event. I'll promote it on Facebook. I'll promote it on LinkedIn. I will promote it everywhere you can possibly imagine. So done deal. She wound up PayPaling me like $200, which was great because, again, I wasn't making any money at the time. And I went ahead and literally spent Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday emailing all my media contacts in Jacksonville that previously covered my pink slip parties and my job fairs. I worked LinkedIn relentlessly, every single group, every recruiter, everyone I knew. I just sent them mass emails just saying, hey, Winn-Dixie's having this job fair. It was right before the holidays. They wanted to fill 100 management positions. And I created as much buzz as one person humanly could in a 48-hour period. Long story short, Monday rolls around. And I show up at the job fair, and there was literally people lined up outside of the store in suits, polished, well-driven, and this recruiter was just astonished. The news media had shown up to the event. There was over 300 people in attendance that came out, and they were able to fill 100 management level positions, all as a result, and I don't want to take credit for all of it, but very much in part, the results and the work that I had put in, which all stemmed from social media, having a lot of passion and persistence, and not giving up on myself. So again, think of what could have happened. I could have blown her off, gotten in the car, and said peace, and I would have never, ever had that very, very brief moment of success. Well, what happens after that? Something about watching that movie, that moment where I was at in my life back then, really just helped me build this character that I have today. And that's kind of where I want to take this. And I'm going to include the link in the box below to my Medium post. But in this post, I talk a lot about character. And character is a powerful asset. It's an asset that you have. It's an asset that I have. All of us, regardless of what you do for a living, regardless of who you are, we all have a character. And that character is defined by the person that we become, and also the person that we continue to become many years or many steps down the road. And I think that there are some people that they choose to exercise that character for good, others exercise it for bad, but there's people that don't exercise it at all. And those are the people that, while they want to accomplish a lot more in life, they're constantly held back because they don't know how to take that step. They don't have the character, they don't have the belief in oneself, or they just don't have the opportunity, and they don't know how to find that opportunity. And I am someone I don't believe in failure at all. I think that in life, you're going to strike out a whole heck of a lot of times. I can tell you from example, when I was in 2009, 2010, starting up Jobs Direct USA, I struck out a lot. There was a lot of times where I'd have conversations with people, I would send emails, I'd have meetings, and it wasn't resulting to anything that was productive in terms of dollars and cents. However, a lot of those conversations led to further introductions, networking opportunities, which helped me open up a whole lot of doors that otherwise I would have not been able to open up on my own. So, you know, what I'm really trying to say, and the moral of this story is, there's no such thing as failure. You're going to strike out a whole lot of times. It's how you get up. It's how you rebound from that strikeout that's going to determine what happens in the several next steps down the road. That's really going to help you build character. And without that character, you're not going to be able to accomplish the great heights of success that you want. So I look at people like LeBron James for inspiration. If LeBron James hadn't struck out a whole heck of a lot of times going to the finals and getting eliminated, he would have never gotten to Miami. If he wouldn't have gotten to Miami, he wouldn't have won 2 championships. Michael Jordan is another one. Michael Jordan, a lot of times throughout his career, he missed a game-winning shot. But yet everyone thinks of Michael Jordan as the best basketball player of all time. And he very well may be. But no one talks about the times that Michael Jordan struck out. No one talks about him not working out in baseball and his baseball career falling apart before he even got started. Again, that's character. And it's those steps that you take that helps you build that character that's going to determine who you are. So, you know, really to anyone watching this, I hope you get something out of it regardless of where you're at in your life. I know that I wouldn't be where I'm at here today if it wasn't for all the steps that I took. And again, going back to sitting on this plane ride, I just couldn't stop writing, and I wanted to get home to St. Louis as soon as possible, turn this camera on, and to speak to someone out there that could possibly get some good out of this video. So I hope that whoever's watching out there, this does you some good. Feel free to let me know in the comments below what you think. Check out this article on Medium. I appreciate everyone that shared it. It's also on LinkedIn, and I put it on my other social networks as well, which you can get links to those below. Once again, remember one thing, friends. Always have a dream. Never give up. Always hustle. That's real talk. Thanks a lot for watching Carlos Guild TV. Fist bumps to all of you out there. Bam. Peace.